Hey there, everybody. It's Brendan. I'm gonna make a short video on some ideas behind short trips and kind of conflict resolution sort of stuff, and just how to deal with relations on short trips because it takes time to build some relationships, and that can be difficult when you're only given maybe a day or kind of like 3 days, thinking of like Mountain Fest and stuff like that. Um, so yeah, I have a couple points and a whole bunch of sticky notes. So in here, first we have setting the vibe, very important. Setting expectations, encouraging participants to interact with each other. Do that. Supporting people who need it, and separating conflicting participants if possible. So a lot of this stuff is kind of specific to, like I said, the setting of being with people for a really short amount of time, and trying to set it up so that the participants still have fun and interact with each other and everything goes well. So that all starts off with setting the vibe. So with this, the idea is kind of you want to create a really positive environment where everyone feels comfortable immediately. That's kind of the biggest thing, so that they start interacting with each other and get some of those benefits of a long trip, but condensed into one of the shorter ones. So for me, that all starts with creating a really high energy environment. So with that, I like to get people all hyped up on the trip, and thinking that it's going to be the best thing ever, um, before it even starts, so that they have that positive mindset and kind of get ready to have fun and meet some more people. That kind of goes into the second thing of get people interacting ASAP. Um, that's really important so that people build relations in such a short amount of time. Thinking of Mountain Fest, that's really important because they're new students that are trying to meet new people for their first time being in college, um, or transferring. And the quicker that they start to interact with each other, the deeper their relationships that they'll build on a 3-day trip will be, um, and likely will be better because of that. And then third thing, be extremely inclusive. That's really important, just so that you kind of set a vibe of like everyone's just here to have fun. We want everyone to have fun, and I don't know, not have conflict. That's the whole goal of even conflict resolution in the short trips, is just avoid it at all costs. It's really easy to, um, just because it's so short. And that kind of moves me on to setting expectations. So with setting expectations, you really want to just get it going as soon as you can, with even introducing people's names, so that is just kind of the baseline of everything that you can build upon all of your relationships and everything. So the main things that I like to set examples of are kindness towards everyone, respect towards everyone, and inclusiveness with everyone. If you get all of those going and if people buy into it, then it'll create a really nice environment of building quality relationships in such a short amount of time, and not leaving anyone out and making people have bad um, times. And then last thing down here that I have is, even if you disagree with someone, it's only for a short amount of time. If people seem like they aren't agreeing or something, I really like to remind them that they only have to be together for the day, or max like 3 days on a short trip. And with that, just try to get them to put their differences aside for however long and just get through the trip with having fun. I kind of like saying that up front with everyone just so that they know that that's how it's going to be. They're only going to be together for this amount of time. And I usually like try to put a positive spin on it of this is why you want to interact with people and have build relationships so early. But also put that side of it as like just deal with it while you can. Next one, interaction. So getting people to interact, like I said earlier, is immediately is really important so that they can build those deep relationships in such a short amount of time. Um, and that goes back to my first point of setting the vibe. The excitement that you create will just get everyone kind of excited about things. And when people are excited, they like to talk about things. And when they get talking about things, the only people there are the other participants. So they'll start interacting. They'll start being like, "Oh, you're kind of fun to be around," and then they'll make friends, and it'll be great. It kind of gets it naturally going without the kind of learning people's names and icebreaker stuff. Um, Although, if the whole trip is kind of low energy in general, um, just get them talking to each other in any sort of way. And that's where kind of those icebreaker games can come in handy. Um, that way you can kind of spread your excitement and just get overexcited about the icebreaker games so that people see like, oh, they're goofy. I can just kind of goof around and make friends and be myself. And that usually works pretty well. The next point, supporting the people that need it most. Um, this is kind of if your really short trip, which is kind of crazy, starts to go bad and people start kind of conflicting and leaving people out, targeting people, that sort of stuff. Um, so with that, I usually just kind of try to show a little bit more support to the people that are being targeted or left out, singled out. That way they know that in the whole trip with me leading it, they are included and it's a safe space for them to um, exist and be who they want and do whatever, do their thing, you know? And then sometimes if it goes far enough south, I really like to call people out for something they're doing. So if someone's being really mean or really excluding someone, I really like to call them out and let them know, like, hey, that's not cool. That's not following the expectations that we had that I set up at the start of the trip, and making sure they understand that that's not welcome on the trip, being mean and leaving people out. Yeah. And then if all else fails, last thing, that's separation. Um, this is where kind of short trips are sort of unique. Is if you're doing a long backpacking trip or something, you really can't separate people that are conflicting. Whereas with a short trip, maybe you can kind of separate them enough. Like even in a car, having someone sit up in the front seat kind of separates the rest of the people. In the vans for Mountain Fest is kind of where I'm thinking. Um, Kind of isolates them, and then you can talk to them more and get them really included if someone is being left out. Um, and if someone is kind of, or if people are ganging up on someone else and being mean, if you set them up in that front seat, it kind of removes them from their friends and things can kind of die off that way. Um, but yeah, separation is actually possible on some trips, some shorter trips. So as a last resort, that can be helpful. Thanks. Have fun. Bye.